So we're going to go ahead and add in a credit card this time. The process isn't a lot different than the checking and savings that we added in. Not sure why this is here. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. Like I said, the process isn't a lot different than the checking and the savings. There's just an extra step which we're going to go through. Just want to make sure it tripped you up if you did come to it on what to do. But otherwise, the process is almost identical. So again, we're just going to hit Add Account over here on the left-hand side. We're going to come to Linked, click Linked. In this case, it's not an Ally Bank account. It's going to be a Chase account, so I need to add a new connection. So I'm going to add this new connection. Same thing, Plaid. In this case, Chase is Big Bank, so it's listed here on the front page here. I'm going to put in username and get my password. So, same thing, text message verification. It's going to send me a text. Hopefully this doesn't take long. Add this in. And there we go. So connect to the bank, it's going to pop up. I'm going to have actually more than one account, so I'm just going to add an account that I want to add. It's going to be this middle one here. So I'm going to click on it. It's going to pop up credit card. I'm just going to give it the kind of same nickname as the others. Jack's credit card. Now, this is the extra step. So when you put a credit card in, it's going to pop up and give you just a few different options. The first one's going to be to create a goal to pay your balance off over time. So if you have credit cards you're trying to get rid of, this would be an option that you can choose. It will create a goal to pay it off every time. If I click through this, it's going to say when do you want it paid off, and it'll give you a whole bunch of options. 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. It'll tell you how much you need to budget every month in order to do that. Might be able just to, yeah, you'll see. So it'll say, excuse me, pay off by a specific date every month until it's paid off, and then you can pick the month or the year. And then when you pick a month or a year, it'll tell you, it'll take you 1 month, or it'll take you 7 months, it'll, whatever the case is. If you pick a specific date, it'll tell you you need to do 300 a month, or whatever it ends up being. So it'll tell you this is what you need to do. I'm not going to do that. You can also budget for your entire balance every month. So it'll basically show whatever you spend in that month in terms of your spending on your credit card. It'll just automatically budget it in your budget tab to pay it off. The reason I'm not going to do either one of these is because both of these things can be done on your own manually in the budget tab. So you can do them here, and I would say if you want to create a goal to pay it off over time, by all means go ahead and do it. But if you don't do it here and you end up skipping it, you can do it manually yourself. And we're going to use goals when we set up the budget anyways later on in the course. So for now, I'm just going to hit skip, just to skip these 2 steps, and just hit next. Same as before, successfully linked. Now I have a credit card in here. And you can name these, I've named these Jack's Checking, Jack's Savings, Jack's Credit. We'll talk about this a little bit more when we talk about budgeting with a significant other or spouse, that you can use different nicknames to name these things. Some people have like 10 accounts, so sometimes you need to be creative with the names so these things don't get, if I just name these all Jack's this, Jack's that, and I have Jack's Checking so-and-so, Jack's, I need to name this something else so I know what it is. So I've used pretty basic naming, but you can name it whatever you want, and you can put a number of different accounts in here. But we'll talk more about that, like I said, when we get into budgeting with multiple people. So that's it. Added the credit card in. It's pretty much the same process. You have a little bit of an extra step in there. It does come in as a negative balance, which would be somewhat obvious. It is a credit card. This is how much you owe. So that's it. Otherwise, basically the same thing. So we're going to talk more about these things as we get into doing transactions as well.